What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. So before I get into this video, I want to give a big shout out to the brother Tomiko for the $10 donation via the PayPal. Much respect to you for showing love once again to the channel. He says, once again, just want to thank you for the great content and your extensive knowledge of the NBA. Much respect to you, bro. I believe Doug got me too about this conversation with Kobe, because at one of Kobe's camps, one of the kids asked him who would win in a one-on-one between him and LeBron, and without hesitation, Kobe said, I would. I'd kill LeBron, and he knows it. LOL, rest in peace, Mamba. Yeah, man, I believe he said it, man. A lot of these guys don't understand. I mean, these guys are friendly with one another, but they're competitive. And, you know, you can be friendly with people, but, you know, they're like they best of like high school buddies and shit. And, you know, I could definitely see Doug Gottlieb being, you know, a guy that Kobe probably told that to. You know, people know about LeBron, man. He pulling the wool over people's eyes now, these youngins, but we all knew the knock on LeBron back then, man. Nice. You know, nice guy or whatever. But anyway, let's talk about this situation with this development with Josh Giddey. All right, so we all know that he has been accused of having a sexual relationship with a minor, and our biggest criticism is that the mainstream media has been trying to cover this up. We've had to talk about this to the point where they've actually talked about it, but they're mad that we made them talk about it because they really don't want to talk about it. And that's why you see so much scorn from these people, and you can see the scorn. You can hear the scorn in their voice, and you can see the scorn in their face. But anyway, there's been a development in this situation, and that's former NBA star Andrew Bogut has opened up on the issue. Now, he's from Australia, as Josh Giddey is, and he's apparently has said something that could shed light on why the League and the Thunder have allowed his fellow Aussie to still play despite being under investigation. Now, Bogut said on his podcast, it's very hard to comment until you have a result on the investigation. I just want to put out there, if Josh was 19 or 20 and knowingly seeking out a 15-year-old girl, absolutely despicable behavior, I'm strongly against it. Now look, let me make a point about something. Remember, the NBA was doing an investigation on Ja Morant both times, especially the second time, right? The NBA was doing an investigation, but that didn't stop the Grizzlies from suspending them for 6 games before the NBA came back and tacked on 2 more games. That didn't stop the media from talking about John Morant. We don't know all the facts, Skip, but, you know, blah, 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 yakety schmackety. The first time, they didn't stop them from talking about that. Well, you know, we've always heard these little things under the radar with John Morant, Skip. Now, look, remember, John Morant was getting passes before the gun incident. We was talking about it. We were talking about the incident with the Pacers and, you know, the red beam, or him supposedly trying to beat up the shoe salesman, trying to beat up Al Bundy or whatever, the kid at the basketball court in the house that they banked up and beat up and knotted up. We were talking about that stuff, but the media was giving a pass. We were saying John Morant was on the pace, was on pace, because everything was getting more and more escalated to the point where he's going to do something that's going to threaten his career, and that's what happened. But this is something serious enough for them. The allegation is serious enough for them to report on it. So that's BS. I don't care what Stephen A. Smith talking about. We're not saying give your opinion. We're saying report the damn news. But anyway, let's go forward. I don't think this is that, from what I understand. And he was talking about, like, knowingly trying to go after a young girl. If I'm wrong, I'll come back and apologize. What I understand is The girl in question lied about her age and said that she was of age at the time. This also happened over a year ago now. I don't think this is something that happened recently. Okay. He also says that the Thunder have been long aware of this allegation. OKC has been aware of this from what I've told. For the last year, they've known about it. They have deemed Josh free to play. The NBA has allowed that, which is kind of telling because when this kind of thing happens, the NBA kind of tries to really take a couple of games off to check these things out. Now, look, it's very telling that the NBA and especially the Thunder knew about this and continually let him play. That's troublesome. And he's still playing, right? That's another issue for another day. I'm not buying this she lied about her age shit, man. Look, that happens a lot, okay? That happens a lot. But in every other scenario that I've read about or that I've seen, when someone is over 18, especially over age 20, and they've had sex with a minor, right? It doesn't matter. It never mattered if she lied. It didn't matter. That's the same reason why someone of that's underage can't consent to have sex. No matter how you want to spin it, it's statutory RAPE. No matter how you want to spin it. No matter how many times people are trying to get this dude out, I'm sorry. I understand where people are coming from, but we can't just have different standards for everybody. You can't have a certain set of standards for black men, yeah, I said it, and then a certain standard for white men. It don't work like that. I'm sorry. It just doesn't work like that, man. You know how many times there have been black athletes that have been 18, 19 years old, and they've had what we would call in this situation consensual sex, but ain't nobody trying to hear that shit. Hey, no, man. You gotta be smarter than that, man. You know, it's on you. You gotta know better than that, man. Look, you gotta know. You knew she was black. You knew the girl was underage. But I mean, look at her. I didn't know. They don't want to hear that shit. But all of a sudden, with Josh Giddey, we supposed to just understand and let him. Yeah, we get it. Yeah, you're innocent. Fuck that, man. So I'm not using that as an excuse for him. If that's the case, from now on, any other situation similar to this, regardless of skin color, keep the same energy. I'm gonna keep this shit in my memory bank. Any other time, any other sport, I don't want to see that dude get investigated. I want everybody to keep the same energy. Let's wait for all the facts to come out before we tarnish someone. No, we ain't gonna keep picking and choosing when we want to punish someone, when we want to call someone an animal, when we want to ruin someone's career, and when we want to go after the female, even though she's a minor. Like I said before, it doesn't make any sense that when Amir Adoka did what he did, which was wrong morally, but not legally, people called him an animal. People called him a monster. By the by, he was suspended. Remember? He was suspended while they were doing an investigation. And ultimately terminated. Yeah, he violated company policy, But he didn't do anything as heinous, despicable as having a relationship with a 15-year-old girl. And I don't buy that he didn't know how old she was. Because at the end of the day, you didn't... Okay, look, I'm trying to figure this out. How was she able to hide from you that she went to high school? How was she able to hide that from you, Josh? That's what I want to know. How was Josh not aware that she went to high school? Pretty hard for her to hide what she's doing Monday through Friday from 7 or 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. Kind of hard to hide that. Pretty sure you went over her house and saw the school book in the book bag. Or did he just choose to ignore that? Which I think is probably what happened. Because like a lot of people put out there, the age of consent is 16 in Australia. But we're not in Australia. We're the United States of America. And I'm sorry, I'm trying, I'm usually a fair dude, but I done seen way too many people. I remember there was a high school black quarterback. He could have went pro. This happened like in the late 90s, early 2000s. He could have went pro. A racist prosecutor put this man in prison because he had a 17-year-old girlfriend. They charged that man with statutory rape. By the way, you know why I call that prosecutor racist? Because the only crime was that this black rising star, his girlfriend was white. That's what the problem was. I think that man only recently got out, but his life was ruined in prison for well over a decade for something he shouldn't even been charged for. That's the crime that I'm talking about, that I've seen happen to thousands of men, especially black and Hispanic men. So no, I'm not going to pick and choose when someone is a monster, and other times, hey, we just gotta, we gotta be fair here. Fuck all that, man. We gotta be consistent. I don't want to go too far into all of this on YouTube too much, but I can't in good faith see that as an excuse in this scenario, because legally it's usually not. Like I said, Amaya Doka was treated like a predator. Even though he had consensual sex with a grown woman, her identity was protected. They're putting out her image out there, this young girl who should be protected. They're putting out her image. They're putting out her name. I'm pretty sure this woman's being harassed by people who are quote-unquote friends of Josh Giddey. They're putting out all these images of her in sweats, in a bikini, and, all these different poses because they want to put out there and put in your mind the image that she's a slut. By the way, where's the Me Too movement at? Where are all these Me Too girls at that was going in on Amaya Doka? Where they at? This is a minor. Where y'all at? Huh? Is this thing on? Why y'all so quiet in this situation? Fuck out of here.